My horrible mother wants to be in our life. MTW, sexual abuse. I've always known my parents to be wicked. This is not a mean attempt to name call them but an actual way to describe them that gives me a certain peace. If I call them wicked, it makes it easy to process all what I've suffered in their hands and lets me know it was never my fault. I was always treated directly from my siblings and it had nothing to do with the middle child syndrome. To put this into perspective, they had 2 middle children and the other was raised differently. So I know for a fact that they hated me. All the trauma I suffered or currently suffering was a direct implication of their hate towards me. My mother unlooked while uncles sexually abused me from 6 years old to as a teenager. Even though I might not understand what was happening at the time, another adult had caught him and exposed him to my mother, but it continued. I was hushed when I tried to speak up against my father flashing me his privates. They both collaborated to give me the worst beating for daring to speak such evil. As a matter of fact, I think it was because I wasn't protected as a child, that's why everyone thought I was free game. To put this into perspective, I have another sister, so it wasn't because I was the only girl around. It wasn't until recently that I found out that the bedwetting I suffered all my life can be linked to the sexual abuse I was unfortunate to experience. I was bullied so much for bedwetting as a teenager. Every morning the seniors in school would make me do a walk of shame round the dormitory, with my wet mattress while my mates watched. At home, it wasn't any different. Each time it happened, they'll verbally abuse me and make me carry a queen-sized bed outside alone and then make me sit under the sun with it, until it dried. We lived in a Section 8 type of building. No adult around thought to seek a medical solution for my condition. Instead I was mocked and shamed. I could go on and on about how I was mistreated by my own parents, but it would take the whole day. I could never finish high school but instead went on working odd jobs. I saved and took some exams so that I could leave home for uni. I also saw myself through uni, well, almost until I couldn't. In contrast, my other siblings were sponsored by my parents. When I fell pregnant with my child, I made the hard decision to keep it because that's the only real family I will have that might truly love me. But since I had my child, my mother has been interested in our life. Always calling and wanting to visit, and I never know how to talk to her or how she can be of any use to us because before now I used to speak to her once every 6 months. Her husband is chronically ill and I can only feel pity for them. Their other children are scattered around the country and it's just me in the same town with them, but I honestly don't know these people. I also think if I was given a better chance at life, I probably wouldn't be stuck in the same town I was born in. So when she calls me crying to see her grandkid, it hardly ever moves me. Should I feel bad for feeling this way?